share the link. Starting off soft. It's gradually gonna get worse.
streets of Chicago, live and direct. It's the Rico No Suave Show, starring Rico No Suave, with co-host Valerie Malesio, featuring special guests every Saturday. And now, ladies and gentlemen, here is Rico No Suave. Ritmo.
Welcome to the show, everybody. Welcome to the show. It's your boy Rico No Suave here on a 1-2-1-2, ready to go. And each and every one of you guys, ya tu sabe, mi gente, we are back otra vez. We're back in Chicago. Last week we were in Texas. You already know, man. I tell you, Texas was really nice last week. Big shout out to hashtag Be The Change. Yes. And it was so awesome, man. It was such an awesome time. Big shout out to the owners from Your Mom's House. That was awesome as well, too. We had such a great time there in Texas. And thank you, everyone that actually supported us for that show. That show was so awesome. But you know why the show was also awesome? Because I had my co-host, Valerie Malesio, with me. What's up, Valerie?
Feliz sábado, mi gente. And as always, it is a beautiful day today. Actually, it's even more so beautiful today.
Man.
There's sunshine. The breeze is right. Just enough crisp in the air.
Yes, yes.
I walked into the building today. I was like, ooh, I wish we could film outside today.
Right.
Beautiful.
It was nice. It's nice outside. And thank God for good weather because it was Tales from the Dark Side for a week or so now.
You know what? Just
Chicago.
yesterday. It was yesterday. It was rainy, but today
so
it's gorgeous.
Sad. Man, I tell
so
you.
Gorgeous.
I want to step out on my balcony and just say, hello, world. That's what I say. Otra vez, mi gente. Yes, man, we got a great show for you guys today, and we're so happy to have this gentleman here. But first, we're going to start off with our breaking news, everyone. So, let's roll. Down. Cinco de Mayo, everybody.
Cinco de Mayo.
Yeah, so we got my girl Valerie Malesio is going to host this segment here. So, Valerie, take it away.
Well, Cinco de Mayo doesn't need a whole introduction because the majority of the world is familiar. Or, well, the U.S., I should say, is familiar. So if anybody's still a little bit hungover from the festivities on Thursday, Do you really know why you're celebrating? That's the question. Exactly what are you celebrating? I know you like that deal on the margaritas. But that's not why we're celebrating. So I'm going to go ahead and hand it over to this brief little clip so you guys can learn a little bit about what Cinco de Mayo is all about.
Cinco de Mayo. Today, college campuses and bars across the country are packed with people enjoying guacamole, putting on big hats, downing a lot of tequila. But how did this holiday get its start? Here's a brief history of Cinco de Mayo. First, let's get a common misconception out of the way. Cinco de Mayo is not Mexico's Independence Day. That's the 16th of September, a completely different holiday. Cinco de Mayo commemorates a big battle. It was known as the Battle of Pueblo, fought on May 5th, 1862 between Mexico and France. Mexico owed France, along with Spain and England, a lot of money. The three countries sent troops to Mexico to demand payment. Spain and England reached an agreement and left, but France set out to attack Mexican forces in Pueblo. The battle lasted 3 hours. Mexico was victorious. The French lost nearly 500 men, while Mexico lost less than 100. Although the French would return just a year later to recapture Pueblo and the rest of Mexico, the Battle of Pueblo created a sense of national pride, and it was declared a national holiday. Today, Cinco de Mayo is a relatively minor holiday in Mexico, mostly celebrated in Pueblo where the battle took place. Most of the country considers Mexican Independence Day, celebrated on September 16th, to be a more important day to express their patriotism. But in the U.S., Cinco de Mayo has become a massive holiday, with large celebrations taking place in Los Angeles, Chicago, Denver, Houston, New York City. George W. Bush was the first president to honor the holiday at the White House.
Mi Casa Blanca es su Casa Blanca. Adios.
Festivities in the U.S., like most imported holidays, usually amount to consuming lots of booze and food. 30.6 million cases of beer, 87.3 million pounds of avocados were sold on Cinco de Mayo week in 2013, making $658 million in booze revenue and 349 million servings of guacamole. With 33.6 million U.S. residents claiming Mexican descent and others partying just because, it's no wonder this holiday's become one of the largest in the country.
Go.
Okay, so now that we're a little more well-versed on the difference between Cinco de Mayo and the actual Independence Day that's on September 16th, the holiday didn't actually become a holiday here in the States until 1933. It was by Franklin D. Roosevelt for his good neighbor policy, actually mainstreamed the holiday here so that we can celebrate it. And as I mentioned previously, it was a big deal because the French had never been defeated before. You know, they were pretty looking with their nice fancy guns. And so when they thought they for sure were gonna have victory over Mexico, and it didn't happen. So did you know that, Rico? Did you know the difference between Cinco de Mayo and September 16th?
Yeah,
Did you?
I did. I think that, you know, I think it's the whole, you know, feeling behind. Well, I'm not gonna lie. I did get checked by an older viejita. It was my student for a long time. We call her Mariposa, and you
Yes,
know,
I'm
and
familiar.
one of the things is that, you know, saying, you know, it's cool that you're throwing parties for Cinco de Mayo, but it's really not it's a good for a celebration, but I don't think most people know why they celebrate that.
Well, a lot of times they think it's an Independence Day.
Correct.
And it's not. And just like the video had said, that's the
correct.
biggest misconception.
That's right.
But just like with any other holiday or reason to celebrate, you know, we had discussed earlier, you know, with the Irish festivities, you know, we have 3 parades here,
Right.
you know, and in other major cities.
Right.
You know, so it is a big marketing holiday, a great way to get people together.
Right.
But it is not Independence Day, and it is a celebration of an actual battle.
Yeah, I think it's, you know, I think this is a really good, you know, segment to basically talk about when it comes to, you know, them understanding what's independence, because now they have, you know, 2 ways of partying now, right? Because
I'm
now,
sure you guys wondered why there was another celebration in September. But, I mean, September 16th, the independence didn't come till 1810. You know, that battle was in 1862. So that was way after, you know, Mexico became
later.
Mexico.
Right.
So, but, you know, no one's going to ask that, you know, when they're making their order for those half-price margaritas and
Right.
2-for-1 tacos and
Right,
whatever
right,
it is.
right.
You know, so celebrate, but at least now you have a little bit more education as to why you're celebrating.
That's right. Good job. Awesome. So now you understand from the Rico no Suave show why we celebrate Cinco de Mayo for the right reason. So make sure you guys go out there and, you know, be a Mexicano, but be a Mexicano for a right reason, right? Because it's very important, of course. And, you know, one last touch on it. We know that in Mexico, you know, we have burritos here and we have tacos here and things like that. If I'm not mistaken, and correct me if I'm wrong, there's no burritos in Mexico, is there?
That's an American.
That's an American thing,
Yeah,
right?
it's an American
So, you know, I think because of that, and because, you know, when you also get tacos in Mexico, it's not with all of the fixings. It's basically, is it like, you know, because I like sour cream on mine, but I think one of the things is that if you actually have like the lettuce, the cilantro, and all of that stuff, kind of gourmeting up.
You
But
have
I
some
think
authentic versions of tacos here, but
well, I'm talking about in Mexico.
but we have some authentic versions of tacos here. It depends on where you go.
Oh,
to
I
have
see.
your
I see.
tacos,
Yes.
but, essentially, like the lettuce and cheese and all that stuff, although delicious, is not really
Part of the tradition,
part of the
right?
traditional way of eating it. A lot
Yeah.
of the things are brought, just like, you know, with your cooking show.
Yep.
You know, you take those flavors and you kind of just combine them to taste.
Yeah.
So,
Like fusion.
right.
Yeah, got it. All right, everybody, yes. That was another segment of Happy Cinco de Mayo a todos, mi gente. I got to introduce this gentleman because he's excited.
we're excited.
I'm excited too. I've been excited for months, man. I have to say, I've been excited for months, and big shout out to my man that connected me with him, my man Omega Red. Yeah, you already know Robert Grant. Connected me to his
I'm
Supremo,
gonna dance during
man.
the intro.
Yeah, right. This gentleman here, man, I have to say is I want to say he's a big time artist because we just a little peons here. We trying to grow. We trying to grow. This gentleman here in 2008 was on the MTV Music competition. He's also having a debut of being BobbyBrown, a reality show as well. And of course, you didn't know this is BobbyBrown's son that's actually here with us. I want you guys to stand up, do every little step you take, because he took that step to make a beautiful son. That's all I gotta say. Put your hands together for none other than my man Landon Brown. What's up, man?
I know you're loving that intro.
Honestly, I didn't expect that at all. I didn't expect that even a little bit.
What's up, Landon? How you doing, my man?
I'm doing great, man. You got a beautiful city here.
Thank you, man.
You got a beautiful city here.
It's your first time here.
I'm
My
still
first
shocked that
time.
you've never been to Chicago.
Oh man, this is
and you're
even
so,
better.
you're
I'm a homebody. I do love to travel, but I love being with my kids and my dog, and I just like to just see them grow, and
Oh, I love
that's fun to me.
Big shout out
That's
to
my
the
fun.
kids. Yeah, big shout out to the kids. Yes. So, let's get this started. Let's get this party started because you here now, right? You here now. Like I said, I've been waiting for this.
Present.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Presente.
Roll
Right?
call. Landon, are you here?
Right. So Landon, there's a lot to talk about because, there's a lot in regards to your story, your lifestyle. But, the main thing is that we would like to know, what was it like growing up and knowing that your dad and stepdad are famous?
What was it like?
Google you.
You would let's Google it. No, I'm just joking. No. That is a question. Like I was telling her earlier that I was telling Valerie earlier that sometimes people ask me some things and I get asked the same question over and over again.
Sure.
So I say, man, Google it. But this is a question that I can definitely answer because there's so many ways to say it. Mm-hmm. It was very different. It was very different because, and I don't say that in the terms of or the I don't mean it in a way of it's different from somebody else's life, but I mean different as in it's constantly changing.
Sure.
Constantly a difference in your lifestyle and your teachings and your perspective of how to interpret what's happening around you.
Right.
Like I lived in Compton with my great grandmother and my mother.
Okay.
But then I would be in Korea with my dad or be in China with my dad and then right back in Compton, eating chitlins with my granny.
Wow.
You know what I mean? And then
Yeah, I can imagine how confusing that can be.
it wasn't confusing. It was more like, I don't know, it was like two gifts.
Yeah.
It was like two gifts because my granny was such a great woman that I never felt like we weren't balling out of control, which we weren't.
Right.
But it just felt like two gifts. When I go with my dad, it's like I get to see all this crazy stuff and I get to be around all these people that everybody's paying so much attention to.
Right.
And then he dropped me back off, taking up a one street neighborhood like this. The neighborhood had like one small street, right?
Uh-huh.
He'd bring the whole tour bus down that street, block off the whole road. So
You're like, thanks, Dad. How am I going to see my friends tomorrow at
I was
school?
a kid, so I was like, this is hilarious to me. Everybody's outside pissed off, and I'm like, this is hilarious. He is wild for this. But it felt like two gifts. And then when my stepdad came into the picture, it was a whole different ballpark. Because here we are with my father, who's singing and performing everywhere in the world, and then my stepfather, he's an actor with a master's from Juilliard.
Nice.
He's got it down. If you ask him anything about that art and that craft, and he has an answer for you.
Super educated.
A profound answer for you. Actually, I'll give you an example.
Sure.
We were talking about sensory experiences, right? Like you can taste some food,
Yep.
and it'll bring back a memory for you.
That's right.
Right.
He explained to me, he said it was called sense something. Gosh, I got to ask him again what he called it. Sense something, where he brings himself to another place
Time and place.
time,
Yes.
so that he can bring that out of him when he's in front of the camera.
Yes.
Wow.
And he just the things that he explained to me growing up about his craft, it was always mind-blowing to me.
Right.
I have this gift, I have my granny, she's this gift, and now I have this man who's taking on someone else's kid
Right.
as another gift. So it was,
So people that don't know who your stepdad is, who is that?
oh, my stepdad is Carl Payne. So he played Cole on Martin,
Yes.
and he played Cockroach on The Cosby Show.
On the Cosby Show, right? Yeah.
He's a good man. He's a really good man.
So would you say, in hearing you talk about these experiences, with the balance of having these two powerful public figures in your life, and then you go home with grandma, it's almost
Yes.
like she kind of grounded you. Like it was that nice balance.
Yes.
And
True.
I understand now why you call that gifts.
Yeah.
Because she did provide that balance. So you were up here, you're at home now. You go wash your own dish.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Yep.
Right.
Washing dishes, cleaning all the glass in the house, all the glass, mirrors, windows, all of it. Don't walk on the carpet. You can only walk on the runners. Don't sit on the couch that got the plastic on it. Don't do that. Like it was.
Grandma always had the
I love
plastic,
that.
right?
It was very grounding. But she also treated me like a little prince.
Yeah.
She brushed my hair before bed and make sure I'm moisturized. Wash my back when I'm taking a bath.
That's awesome.
She treated me like a little prince. So it was very hard to differentiate between the experiences, other than what I would see. What's in front of you was so different all the time.
Yes.
Right.
But the
Yes.
feeling of that warmth and that love was consistent.
Oh, I love
super
that. Big
We
shout
love
out
you,
to
Grandma.
Grandma.
We love you, Granny.
We love you, Granny.
So, one of the things about being able to shift between your dad, Carl, and grandma,
Yeah.
right? And then also being on your own, right? As far as growing up over time.
Yeah.
Those are you kind of talk about, well, your stepdad talk about the sensibility of knowing and memories back and forth. When you were with mom and you were eating, grandma, when granny was actually fixing you plates and fixing you food, because you were traveling and there was other food that you were eating, did any of those times when you were on the road with your dad ever reminded you to say, hey man, I really need to go back home and eat grandma's cookies?
What's this?
As much as I love good food,
Yes.
I feel like I love to try new delicious foods. Never mind, it's 50-50.
Okay.
It's 50-50. So if you and I go overseas somewhere and we have foods that we've never had before and they're delicious or they're not delicious, because
Right.
not all of it's going to be good.
Right.
No,
So,
Right.
Something's going to throw you off. Like, I'm going to pass on that one, sir.
Benadryl. Right.
And you go back home and you have some dishes made by granny. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
I don't feel like there was a time where I craved it.
Yeah, okay.
Because I'm so much more of an experienced type of person.
I see.
Like I enjoy all the new experiences.
Yes.
And I also believe that no matter how long you've been around somebody, you're going to have new experiences with
Yes,
them
sir.
your whole life.
I like
Right.
that.
Right.
I like that. That's
And-
very important, right? Very important to actually know.
Yeah.
When you were actually, being able to have buses come down a one-way street. You know what I mean? Not very often I see that, right?
Right.
But when you do have that, when you had that, how old were you when
Oh,
that
man.
was happening?
I was with my granny until I was maybe 10, 11 maybe.
Okay.
And then my mom, we lived in Compton, and my mom was like, "We're not gonna live out here, man. We got to move this to the valley. We got to go to the valley.
Yeah.
You've been to the San Fernando Valley,
Yeah.
right? So we had to move to the valley, and I started going to a different school, and the school I went to was great. It was like living in a little bubble. Like I felt like I was on a Truman Show. Like, hey, Landon. I'm like, hi. My mom put me in a real good school, man. And my mom, I don't want to discount any of my mom's efforts. My mom was working, going to school, And she was being a great mother and a
Good.
great wife.
Go,
You know,
Mom.
like my mom's a powerhouse, man, and she's beautiful, a beautiful woman too.
Yeah.
Big shout out to Mom.
Big shout out to Mom.
Mother's Day is tomorrow.
I know, right?
Yes.
Still
Shout
trying.
out to Mom.
I'm so late in the game. My mom's so tough to get something for her.
Yeah. Oh.
Like my mom likes tools.
Wow.
Like she does a lot of renovations. So
Okay.
she likes tools. She likes mixed martial arts.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? She likes.
Mama's doing it.
Yeah,
Look at
Mom was
that.
getting it in. Right. Mom was like,
Yeah, my mom don't play.
Tool belt and MMA.
So it's hard to get her something because like what tool do I? You got all the tools. What tool do I get you?
I told my mom the same thing, bro. My mom's a hoarder, right? And I told my mom, I said, Mom, listen, I got you that 2 years ago when you asked her for the same thing. You want to upgrade? Right?
Maybe she wants two of them.
I'm like, hold on, let's go to the basement.
Two different parts
It's
of the
always
house.
the basement.
Never
It's
know.
always the basement. No, we don't have basements in LA.
No,
No, they don't. They
basements.
have
we
them
don't
here,
have
though.
basements in LA.
We have them in Chicago all day.
They don't
Yeah.
have basements. There's basements here, which is kind of cool.
I live in Michigan, so
Yeah.
everybody's got a basement, and it always blows my mind when you walk into someone's basement. I'm like, we're under your house right now.
Right.
This is crazy because we don't got this.
And we're not even hiding from
This is
anybody.
crazy.
We didn't even have to go outside to crawl
We
over.
didn't have to hide from nobody.
See, you know what I'm talking about.
We didn't have to hide from nobody. Yeah, I know
We
what
ain't
you're
even
talking
under the
about.
porch. For real.
So during the time, we are gonna give some big shout outs because we got some people tuning in. They know you here, Papa. They know you here, man.
Yes.
So I do want to give some shout outs to some of the people that's actually tuning in right now. Violetta's checking in from Wisconsin.
Violetta.
Hello, Violetta. Primo
Violetta.
Cruz. What's up, Primo Cruz? He said, "What's up, everybody? Saludos, mi gente." My man Carlitos, ¿cómo está, man? ¿Cómo está? And then we were talking a little bit about Beatrice. Beatrice Davis is checking
Yeah, I
in.
saw her
Beatrice
comment.
yeah, she said burritos are originally from Spain.
Thanks for that,
Wow,
Beatrice.
I'm glad to know that.
Yeah.
So now I know where to go.
Now
for
we
a good
know where
burrito.
they came from. I wonder what they actually look like. Though.
I
I know they're not
I
like
don't know.
here.
I have no idea.
Have you
I don't
had
know.
them? Well, you haven't really been to Chicago, but Chicago has some ridiculous sized burritos.
Insane.
They're like
Huge.
you owe me a soda, Jinx.
Yeah.
They're super. I mean, they're ridiculous.
Man, I really want to enjoy you guys' food out here, and I can't. I'm
Another time.
I know
I'm trying to lose this weight right now.
Yeah, I feel you, man.
I'm trying to get this daddy weight off me. You know, COVID really put a lot of weight on everybody, right?
Yeah.
With being
Yeah.
locked in the
Yes,
house, and
yes.
man, I
It did.
gained so much weight that everybody's like, dude, you look like a monster now. I was way heavier
Wow.
than this.
I think you need to find new friends.
I was way heavy. I was way heavier than this.
Wow.
So no.
I hope they're listening.
I got to get this weight off me. So I really want to. They said there was a place here called Firehouse.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
down the street from here.
I was
the
like,
Firehouse.
man, I
But
kind
see,
of want
that's
to go
a
to the
steakhouse.
Firehouse.
It's a
I could do that.
Yeah, yeah.
I can
That's
do
where
that.
they filmed like Ghostbusters and all that from
Is
back
it?
in the day.
yeah.
Oh, I definitely want to go
Yeah.
by there now.
Yeah.
See, once you tap into Chicago, there's so much history here.
So
Like,
much monumental stuff.
Oh
though.
man.
You know what? I have been to Chicago before. When
You've been lying to us
when
this
I
whole
was
time.
a child.
Oh.
Oh, okay.
But this is how it was when you're a kid and you're in this kind of family. It's very specific, right? Like the adults do what adults do, but the kids, it's like, bam, you're on the plane, you get off the plane, straight to the hotel. We're not doing nothing unless it's something that's got to do with Disneyland, or you're just here to be here so that I can keep my eye on you, spend time with me.
Yes.
That's it.
Yeah, that this
But
one.
while they're checking out the whole city, you are at the hotel. You
Wow.
are watching movies. So I actually saw The Lion King out here.
Okay.
There's a place
Was
out
it
here
on
that's
Ice? Was it on the United Center?
You talking about the movie or a play?
the movie when the movie
okay.
first
Oh, the
came
movie.
out.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
Okay.
When the
yeah.
movie, I was like on ice. I was like, what?
He's like, is that a new
like,
drink
on
that just
ice,
came
like,
out?
It was
get
a
a
movie
Lion King on
theater.
ice,
There's
please.
a drink called Simba.
I don't know if this place still exists, but it was like inside. It was a really like tall structure inside. There was a lot of levels, and it was right on the sand and the water. That's what I remember. But
Wow.
there was a movie theater there. I think it was a mall. I don't
It
know.
was on the sand, the water.
Yeah, if it was
Yeah.
on the sand, Lake Michigan, yeah, we don't have many of those.
There's a theater downtown though.
Well, the Chicago Theater.
The
That's what I'm
movie.
thinking.
There's a movie
the
theater.
Movie theater. He might be talking about maybe close by Navy Pier.
So maybe
That's the
you
only thing
you
that
remember.
Navy
He's
Pier.
remembering in the eyes of a child.
Yeah.
So you probably
true.
You probably saw the Lakeshore Drive on the way in.
Yeah.
So the sand and the water, which they call this a beach here, but you and I both know this ain't a beach. But you know, the going up the drive, and then and then going to the theater.
LA bias, man. Let's go to the beach. I'm like, this is not a beach. This ain't no beach.
But that's another story.
You know, so we got to go back to some comments. We have David Otero. What's up, David Otero?
David, puppy.
Yeah, he's going to be good. David Otero. We got Rhonda Stramel from Texas checking in. What's up, Rhonda? Daisy Berrio, she says happy Valentine's Day. Happy Mother's Day, lovely Valerie.
Thank you,
Aw.
Daisy.
Aw.
Mwah.
Happy
You
Mother's
too.
Day. I
Happy
didn't know you were
Mother's
a
Day.
mom. Sorry about that.
Yes.
Happy
I
Mother's
am a
Day.
mom.
Giordani McCoy says, sounds expensive. I think she was talking about the coming down the one-way street with the tour bus.
Sounds expensive.
My man Primo Cruz says, wow, Landon got quite an education and experiences.
And that's
Yeah,
what it
for sure.
is.
That's
You
for
learned
sure.
Oh, yeah.
different things from those people in your life that were around you, you know?
Oh, you don't know
Yes.
the half. Learning about cultures.
Yeah.
Learning about different cultures. I would put that in front of any little kid in the world to be able, for them just to be able to understand that where they live is not the world.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
That's hard to convey
It is.
to people.
It
And-
is.
and
Especially
I
to a child,
understand that
right?
challenge.
Especially to a child. But I think it's really important to pay attention to the mental health of kids
Yes.
so they grow up into functioning adults, right? And I think
Right.
one of those things is showing them that this is not the whole world,
Right.
baby.
That's right.
This ain't it.
What do they
That's
say?
right.
The world doesn't end on your front porch.
That's right.
You know,
I never
so-
heard that before. I'm
Yeah.
going to keep that. The world doesn't end on your
in
front,
your front
porch.
porch. You know, because part of education is, you know, learning other cultures and experiencing other, like you mentioned, experiences.
But
That's
you know
how
what,
we
what
grow
sucks
and
about
develop.
that is that when you're in school learning about other cultures,
just about to say
you're
that.
learning about other cultures with information that's being given.
Right.
Right? Like,
It's biased.
let me
Yes.
tell you my version of what's going on with these people.
Right.
And I don't feel like that's fair, right? You have to immerse them in another person's culture. And in a lot of places you can do that in your city, right?
Yeah.
Like
Right.
there's in LA we have Little China, Little Tokyo, we have all these
Koreatown,
places.
yeah.
Yeah, we got Koreatown and all this where you can actually immerse yourself in people's culture, not to the point where you understand their plights and their struggles from their culture standpoint, but you get to be around the people and how they like to live their life.
Yeah.
Right.
And I think that
It's great.
it's really hard to understand that as a child that this is not the whole world. You know, my brothers have been two of my brothers, right? They've been actually three of my brothers. They haven't been outside of the States, right?
I know
Wow.
a lot of people, I mean, even in my family that are on the West Coast that don't even get on planes. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like they won't leave.
Right. Although, even though getting hurt on a plane, there's a less of a chance of getting hurt on a plane than getting hurt in a car.
Yes.
Right. The chances of you getting hurt in a car, God forbid anybody get hurt in a car, are way higher than being hurt on a plane.
Sure.
Right.
Right.
Which is crazy. So, but everybody has their fears. I have my fears too. I was actually afraid of spiders until I started living in Michigan. Now me and spiders are homies.
Right?
We're like,
I'm like, oh no, leave him there, leave him there.
we're tight. Yeah.
That's my friend.
I'll get a cup and I'll be like, come on, Charlotte, you gotta chill, man. I did not invite you in here.
Right.
Get outside.
Back on the porch where you belong.
I used to
This
be
your boundary.
I used to be terrified, man, because I watched Arachnophobia as a child.
Oh my
So I'm talking about
that's a scar right
mental
there.
health for children is important, I want you to be able to get to your comments. 'Cause
Sure.
I know how that feels when you're doing a live, and it's like 70 comments now. You're like, wait. What were we talking
it's
about?
all you, my
What
boy.
were we talking about at that time? I went to Australia, and this is pertaining to what I was saying about understanding different cultures, right?
Yeah.
I went to Australia and I got to play laser tag with Aborigines.
Wow.
That sounds wild, right?
Yeah.
That sounds wild. Like you can't for someone that hasn't been to Australia or doesn't know what the Aboriginal people are, like even saying Aborigines and laser tag is like what are you talking about?
Right.
You know? But what they did, they had a program for the children of Terry Island where they bring them to the city to show them civilization. Right? So they bring them to do some fun stuff in the city, and I just so happened to be there And I was like, hey, what's up, kids? And
Or he was like, kids.
yeah, I love kids. So I was like, hey, what's going on, guys? And they were like, oh, man, he's like the Hulk, man. You know, and they were hanging from my arms. And we went in there and played laser tag, man. And it was so much fun. But to see the amount, just the greatest amount of joy on someone's face from doing something they've never done.
Yeah.
I got to learn something culturally. They got to learn something. Right?
That is
It was
amazing.
crazy, man.
You know, you mentioned that you got to, you know, that's an amazing experience. As a child, you mentioned traveling a lot.
Yeah.
So did you ever get to like hang out with other kids other than like those one-off situations, or were you around a lot of adults mostly?
Mostly adults.
Okay.
Mostly adults, but then, you know, my father would be friends or on tour with other artists who brought
kids?
their kids.
Oh, okay.
Right? So I think that the times where I was around other celebrities' children, we were so quiet and reserved because we were taking in so much like sensory overload, right?
Sure.
Like there's so much going on around you that it's kind of like a little bit overwhelming, right?
Yeah.
But we wouldn't even really play. It was kind of like I see you,
Right.
you know, like I see
Be
you kind of
still.
thing. Like I
Yeah.
see
We're going to
you.
watch this movie here. We won't talk.
I see you. No, like we'd be backstage at the show,
Oh, okay.
right? Or on the side stage. Their dad just got off stage. It's my dad. He's the main event, and we're just sitting there watching together. And you know, it's like we didn't even have to communicate. We just understood that we're the kids, right?
Right.
We are a special group here. Everybody's worried about us getting hurt or not
Right.
having a good time, and we're soaking up this crowd of 1 million people chanting, you know, my dad's name. It's just a crazy experience.
Yeah.
So being able to experience that with someone who understands that,
Yeah.
Right.
you know, we really didn't do anything but soak it in.
Do you have a pivotal moment, like when you really realized how big of a star your dad was? Because you mentioned kind
That's
of
a
growing
good
up in this.
question.
You said, I thought it was hilarious that the bus came. You know, you're like,
Yeah.
you know, I thought it was funny. But do you have like a moment where you're like, oh my God, my dad's famous? Maybe you heard it from other people. You know what I mean?
I mean, you know, yeah, like people saying your dad's famous, it just makes you feel like he's special to people,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
But for you, it's a whole other world, right? It's my dad.
Yeah.
Right.
Right? So I go to your house, I meet your dad, and it's like, oh, this is your dad. Wow, he's so funny, so cool. Right? So because I was lacking that perspective,
Yeah.
The opposite.
to me it felt like, oh, this is what people are feeling.
Yeah.
Because your dad is fun and your dad is cool. This is what people are, but that wasn't even it.
Right.
I hadn't even scratched the surface.
Yeah.
So my whole life I had lived with that perspective that, they just believe my dad. He's a
He's
really cool
important,
guy.
yeah.
Yeah.
He's fun.
He's
Everybody
important to
love him.
people.
Yeah, he's super fun. I want to be fun too.
Right.
You know, but I would give other people's dads so much glory. Like, this is how people treat my dad. This is how I'm supposed to treat dads. Oh.
Yeah.
So I go to my friend's house and I'd be like, man, can I help you with something? Can I help you with the yard, or what do you need?
That's a good.
That's
a good experience. That's a
interesting.
good
I love
experience,
that.
though. You know, speaking of family, we got my man. Big shout out to Terrence Wayne checking in. He said, "Can you ask Landon what is his fondest memory of his mother since it's Mother's Day tomorrow?"
That's a good question.
My fondest memory of my
Terrence?
mother. You know, it's really difficult to pick one. My mom and I are really, really, really tight.
That's fine.
Like we're like
Best friends.
tight.
Yes.
I love
know?
that as a mom.
My mom had
I
me when she
love
was
that.
17, right? So oftentimes we're more like brother and sister than like mother and son. But that's my ace. That's my dude. You know what I mean? But I guess if I had to give you anything, I would say that my mother looked at me one day and she said, "If you would have told me that you were going to be such a big man, I would not have believed you." And then she just squeezed me. And I was like,
That's love.
Mom.
Great question.
Nice.
Great question. Giordani McCoy actually says, "I'm curious to know, because you have been exposed, you have been so exposed, what was your number value?" number value. That's interesting because I don't know what that number value. Are you asking what his net worth is? I'm not sure.
I don't know if we can disclose that over the air.
So if you can explain that a little bit more in regards to that, that will be great. We do got a big shout out because we got another Grant in the house. There's like Lando. I think it's
my cousin.
Taisha Grant. Tu prima. So yeah, she says
that's
Lando.
My lady.
That's your lady.
Let me tell you right now, if you have any relative that supports you no matter what's going on,
yes,
that's Taisha.
She
got me.
Taisha.
Yeah.
She's always got me.
Big shout out to my man Justin Sawyer checking in as well too.
Sawyer.
Justin, he said, "What's up, Landon? Welcome to Chicago."
Oh, thank you, Justin.
Also, he says, "Hey, we hope that you're enjoying the city." John T for free is actually saying, "Also, what's up, Landon? Welcome to Chicago." Yeah, he said it sounds so weird to be a kid and hear a crowd screaming your dad's name.
It is.
Right?
It is. But if I can respond to, was that John?
Yeah,
John T.
John T for free.
Imagine this though, right? Imagine this: you have a crowd of people screaming your dad's name, but as a child, you don't really perceive them as people.
Right.
It's almost like they're one entity.
Right.
You know, because they're so small from the distance. The stage is here. It's dark. All you see is flashing lights and these tiny figures. So you don't perceive it as people.
Yeah.
It's almost like you just perceived it as just a total event. You know, people are yelling his name, but I didn't realize that it was people. I was just like, wow, this is cool.
It didn't register.
It didn't register. Yeah, I'm like,
people.
oh.
Were you like any other kid and just like, are we almost done yet so I can go home?
Yeah. Yeah, there was a lot of times where I was like, can you take me to the dressing room so I can go to sleep? And my dad will even tell you there were times where he'd be like, I want to introduce y'all to my son, Landon, come out on stage. And he's looking for me. He's on stage calling my name and he's looking for me. I'm dead asleep in the dressing room. So wow. It's really cool to hear a huge group of people chanting your father's name, but as a child, without the understanding, you can't really absorb it until you go back like I am now.
Reminisce on it.
Right? When you go back on it, when you're 10, 11, 12, and you're like, oh, that was a million people in Tokyo.
Yes.
That's crazy.
Yes.
So that actually goes back to your question earlier. I think the point where I realized my dad was so famous was when I met Michael Jackson. When I met Michael Jackson,
yeah, your dad's somebody.
I was like,
okay.
I was like, oh, this is
for real
weird.
famous.
What's he doing with my dad? I was like, this is so weird.
It's so crazy how you think about, through the eyes of a child. You say, he was just my dad. How do you know Michael Jackson? Like, why is he even talking to you?
Why are you talking to Michael Jackson?
Right.
He did Thriller, Dad. He's amazing. Right. My dad's like, you don't know how amazing I am, dude. And I'm like, fair. You didn't do Thriller.
Right.
I love that.
My dad's like, you little savage.
That's awesome.
You little bastard.
Sheena D. House says, Landon.
Sheena.
Yeah, she said, welcome to my hometown.
Sheena and I talk about Chicago all the time.
Yeah.
Sheena's one of the great ones, man. You meet a lot of people in your life that are really cool and really fun to hang out with, and then you meet those special stars out of the bunch.
Yes, sir.
Who are just so genuine.
Yeah.
Right.
So genuine that right off the cuff, you're like, okay, I think I can trust you.
I can rock with you.
Yeah. I can
that's
trust
hard.
you. That's Sheena.
Welcome to the show,
All right,
Sheena.
Thank you for joining us.
Yeah.
She's my Chicago person.
Check this out, man. There's a lot, of course, of celebrities that you probably ran into. Chocolate City. There's a thin line between love and hate. You know what I mean? Thin line between love and hate, Did you get a chance to meet Martin Lawrence?
You said Chocolate City. I was like, where are we going with this, Rico? What are we doing, man? We can talk about that later, man. Head out.
After-hour conversation.
Let's know if you want to roll, Valerie. Well, that's interesting, right? Because
Yes.
I didn't meet Martin because of Thin Line Between Love and Hate. I met Martin because my stepdad was on the Martin Show.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I got to be around Martin all the time.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
He was a regular.
Yeah, I got to be around him all the time. Because
no big
just
deal.
like I'd be on side stage for my father's performances, I would be side stage on the set of Martin.
Yeah.
Right.
That's cool.
He'd be like, stay right here. There's all the snacks that you could want. And he wasn't lying. It was like a whole kitchen of just whatever you could imagine, right in front of where they're acting, right?
Yeah.
And he'd just be quiet when we're acting, okay? Just when you hear
quiet.
that noise, just shut up. Right? And
He's opening bags of
say
chips.
nothing.
yeah, I'm like,
All
yeah.
loud.
Pop-Tarts, I'm opening a Pop-Tart super slowly. He's looking over.
Because when you have kids, you can tell kids as many times, shh, quiet, keep it down.
Yeah.
And then all
A
of a sudden,
million
you'll
times.
hear the bag. You'll
A
hear the bag
million
moving.
times. Don't do that.
Right.
And they're like, huh? And you're like, don't, what are you, all right. All right. No, but that's how I met Martin, though.
Giordani comes back, with the question. She rephrased the question.
Okay,
right?
the number value.
She said the number value, right? She said, what's his number one life value based on his life experiences? Deep question. I like that one.
I feel like the thing I value the most is family.
Yeah.
Family, man.
Oh, I love that.
I think COVID taught everybody about that.
Oh, for sure.
You know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
If anybody was
Priorities.
focused on
Yeah.
anything else, it's like, man, if you had to go today, would you be happy? Would you really be really happy with the way you've treated the people that you say you love? Would you really be happy? So I think that throughout my life, that's what I learned, is that family is really, really hard to be the perfect family member. And it's really, really hard to convey your true feelings to your family because the world is so wild.
Yeah.
And busy.
And busy.
Yep.
We get caught up in life.
Adulting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The days blur by. We just talked about scheduling this, and here we are
Here we
doing
are.
it.
That's right.
It's like I blink my eyes. We're here now. So it's the same thing when you're like, I'm going to tell that person I love them tomorrow.
Yes, sir.
And then it's 2023, and you're like,
I never made the call.
I didn't even make the call.
Right.
Didn't even make the call.
Yeah.
That's been, family.
That's
Family.
real.
I like that.
love that.
I like that. So we're at 12:44 right now, and of course, time flies by fast with a blink of an eye. You know what I mean? So
Big facts.
you know how it is. So let's get to the next question. Thank you guys so much, man, and don't forget to share this video, everybody. Please do that now. I appreciate you guys so much. Patty Escobar is checking in. She said, "Great show. Nice to hear his
Patty.
perspective of growing up under the fame radar." Yes, thank you so much, Patty Escobar. All right, so. Being I was in a movie once. You know what I mean? I did my thing. You know what I mean? I did my thing. They
Magic
got
Mike?
Me. They got me. I didn't.
Magic Mike,
Yeah,
Valerie?
the sequel.
Was that?
Don't bring the sequel.
He was in the sequel? Black Magic Mike.
Black Magic Mike, right?
He does not need any help, Landon.
Yeah, I want them to know. Gotta keep the speedos tied in somewhere else, So check me. So you debuted in MTV. So MTV Music, you did a competition. Then also, tell us about. Let's talk about that competition. MTV Music back in the day for us was like MTV Yo Raps. MTV, back in the day, we had the Fab Five, and you had the old school
basement.
cats, the basement,
Yep.
right? What we had that time. So 2008, during that time, what was that competition like with MTV Music, if I'm saying?
I'll be honest. That show in 2008, it's one of those things that I wish I never did.
Really?
I wish I never did. I was so desperate in my youth to get my music to everyone. I want my music to touch everybody, and I was looking for any opportunity to do that. And somebody was like, you know what? We got the show going on if you want to be a part of it. And I was like, I do. Let's do this. But then we ended up being treated real disrespectfully, man, and it just wasn't a good experience. It wasn't a good experience at all.
Musically, do you feel the pressure, like because of who your father was, on what your music should be?
Oh, there's always going to be that
The
pressure.
expectation.
Yeah.
You have to build up such a thick skin because people are going to say you suck.
Yeah.
People are going to compare you to your dad 1 billion times. It's just, like, I don't care. One person said one time that I couldn't hold a tune in a bucket.
Damn.
Oh, wow.
And I was like, that sounds fun, man, but
You're like, but
I don't really do anything with buckets, man.
He's like, wait a minute.
You must live in the countryside somewhere,
He's like,
buddy.
is that your bucket?
You cannot stop. You can't phase me.
Right.
You can't put me in a position to where I don't believe in myself.
Yeah, for
Right.
sure.
There's really
You're gonna always have those haters, man. I mean,
You will.
Yeah.
And you know
always
what?
will.
I was taught that was actually a really good thing.
Of course.
When you have haters,
Yes, sir.
that means you're doing something right.
That means they promote you. Even
Yeah,
more.
you're doing something. People are paying attention.
They're
They
paying
may not like
attention.
you very much, but they're paying
They're
attention.
paying attention.
Yeah.
Wow, that's
There
cool.
is a question that popped in. If we can ask you,
Sure.
what's your father's favorite song?
My father's favorite song?
Did he have like a song that he said it was his favorite at all?
Did somebody really comment
Yeah,
to say
somebody
that?
did that.
What's
That
your
was,
father's
that's
favorite
Primo
song?
Cruz right there, Primo.
Primo, you're gonna have to ask BobbyBrown that. I really don't got anything for you. If you want to know my favorite song, I can tell you, but I don't know what my dad's favorite song
That's a
is.
good question. Do you have
know?
Do you have a favorite of your father's?
Of my father's.
Yeah.
No, I don't have a favorite of my father's. I mean, Rockwich is one of my favorites. I don't really have a favorite of my dad's, but I feel like the songs that you've never heard are really the best ones.
Really?
There's songs that he recorded when I lived with him in Whitney, in Jersey.
Yeah.
There are songs he recorded at that studio that never saw the light of day.
They just never made it out.
That were amazing songs, like really like amazing songs.
I'm sure there's going to be some maybe put out there a couple years from now. People always go dig in the archives.
There's no way. I bet
No?
you there's no way. I mean, that was when I was like 12.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow.
So
That's like
that-
10 years
those
ago,
songs are
right?
gone.
10 years.
It's like 10 years ago, right? I wish, man. I wish. I'm starting to feel this age.
So he comes
Oh, he
back and
meant
said, no, I
your
meant
father's favorite song. So, did you ever hear him singing a song in the shower?
Yeah.
Or, who was his biggest influence?
She said,
Sorry, I'm like Valerie. It's like,
Dad, I hear that song again. You
sing it
wanna
one
turn
more
this
time. What'd you say, son? Oh, sorry. Close the door.
You know what, Primo? I tried. Okay? I tried.
Is there a song that I hear my dad sing a lot?
Yeah.
No, not really. I've heard my dad sing a lot of Stevie Wonder,
Okay.
but I wouldn't say there's like one specific song my dad sings all the time. I should ask him that. I'll ask him that later.
Yeah, text him now.
Yeah, I'll ask him that.
Go ahead, text him.
I mean, he on the show. Yeah, I mean.
Go ahead, text
Hey,
him.
yo, Dad, what's your favorite song?
I do want to know what his favorite song is. That's a
Yeah.
good question. Yeah, actually, I don't think I know anybody in my family's favorite songs.
Well, as the
I want to
public,
know Carl's. I
On
want to
the-
definitely know Carl's favorite song.
on the
like, 'cause
public
he's-
side of the fence, we're
Probably
only
some Michael Jackson.
allowed to know
Michael
what we
Jackson.
know. That's the stuff that he's published and put out there.
Yeah.
But then you learn, especially now with social media nowadays, you learn that a lot of artists are really jazz influenced, and they're not
Yeah.
the pop, area that the label put them in.
Sure.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So it's interesting to hear from you, oh yeah,
I love EDM.
EDM is the bomb.
I love EDM.
The raves, baby.
I play that in front of the homies, and they're like, "What are you playing, bro?" I'm like, "What are you?" Play some Kanye, man, or some T Grizzly. What do you? I got no time for this. So I'm like, man,
So, what's that?
I'm not done yet.
The workout music? Is that what they tell you? Put that workout music on?
Hey, so Sheena says you're such an amazing vocalist. What's next for you in your music career? Which is our question we was gonna
Sheena's
ask. Grace.
so
Sheena's just
funny.
trying to take over our
Man,
interview.
Sheena knows the script.
Sheena's
She
so funny.
does.
She funny.
She's like, you need to plug, okay?
Right.
You need to, it's plug
Facts.
time. Got
I'm
you,
planning
Sheena.
on putting out some music this month. I'm planning on putting out some music this month. I haven't released anything ever. So I'm going to release some music hopefully by the end of this month. I'm just trying to find the right sound.
Okay.
And you know what? That really brings up a good point. Thanks, Sheena. That really brings up a good point. In the music industry, just for me, I can't speak for every artist, right?
Sure.
Just for me, it has been the toughest time just trying to find people to work with that don't act like celebrities. You know what I mean? Like,
the egos.
yeah, man. It's like it's like for instance, my boy was like, "Oh, I have this great producer. Give him a call." And I'm like, "Okay, great." I call him up. I'm like, "Hey, how can we work together? Is there a way that I can hear some of the stuff?" And he's like, "Oh, I need $7,000." And I'm like, 7 racks for what? What do you need 7 racks for? Oh, if we're gonna work together. I've never heard any of your music ever. I don't even know what your music sounds like. How do I know we even vibe? Like,
right.
We've been on the phone for 20 seconds, bro. Like, you already won $7,000? What are you talking about, man? So it's really hard to find someone that can create something. I don't have I wasn't given the gift to produce instrumentation, right? Like, I can play some songs on the piano if I listen to them enough, right? But producing beats, I wasn't given that gift, man. I could write you a song.
Yeah.
Well, you're in Chicago, and I know there's a lot of beat makers in this area.
Well,
so
the crazy thing about $7,000, it takes you back a few checks. You know what I mean?
You take Zelle.
Say 22nd, and you ask them for $7,000 already. Is it Bitcoin?
Hey, man, come on. So that's what's really holding me back from releasing the project I want to release. Is having the instrumentation that I want.
You haven't connected with the right people.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I got a few songs that I'm going to release at the end of this month and do a small project, and then throughout the year I'm going to release a few more.
Okay. Let us know.
We're excited.
We want to be a part of it. You know what I mean? Don't
Super
cost $7
excited.
racks. Maybe we'll pay you $25. No, I'm just joking.
Now you're like, don't put me in this.
You know, Valerie gonna walk away like, nah. You know, your brother.
I didn't say that.
I'm like, at the next meeting, we're gonna have to have a conversation.
No, it's all good, man. It's all good. Tammy C. Grimm is checking in. I don't know if you know who that is. Tammy C. Grimm. She says, "Hello, Landon." She's like, "Great to see you. Landon has such a great voice."
Thanks, Tammy.
Much love.
I'm so excited and looking forward to.
Tammy is a great mother.
Album.
Yes.
Happy Mother's Day.
Happy Mother's Day.
Tammy is a great mother.
So we have a lot of love and support coming in for you regarding your music.
Good energy brings good energy,
that's
right?
When it comes out, as just to kind of piggyback off what he was saying, make sure you let us know. You know what I mean? 'Cause we would love to know.
Oh, well, of course.
You see what I got to deal with all day.
I'll send it over to you guys.
That
too,
way we can hear it. I'm so excited for you.
Yeah, for sure, bro. And you know that this is like your home away from home now, since you rocked it in here first. In Chicago, besides the hotel. You know what I mean?
Don't forget the 8-minute walk.
Right
I mean, the 8-minute walk.
Right. And, you definitely here. So I got something for you, man, before we get out of here.
All right.
And we have a shirt, right? We got a shirt for you. Rocking it out with the Rico No Suave show shirt. And, this, don't matter how much it costs, $1.99 with polyester. What happens is that the one thing about this show that I really love is gems of the world, right? Now, of course, being a kid, and your father and your stepdad and also stepmom, and you've been exposed to all these great experiences. Yeah. But one thing about the Rico No Suave show is cultural based. You learn so much in regards to going to Korea, going to China, going to different places to be able to have that experience. And then it all comes back down to family. Yeah. Granny, right? And what happens is that you've always, like Valerie was saying, you've always been grounded to continue to be that prince, that gem of the world. So I want to congratulate you, and there's more to come because we're going to see you on the red carpet, Papa. Woo! We're going to see you on the red carpet, man. We're going to be there with you. It'll be like, what y'all doing here? Hey, you're like, hey, Ron, you didn't know. It only took 8 minutes to get to you. Right?
He'll be like, how did they get in these pictures? Where did they come from?
Hey, man, congratulations. Welcome to the show, baby.
Thank you, brother.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, that's my man Landon Brown. So, Taisha says, Miss Grant, she said, you know what? Landon's pen game is fire. Fuego,
I can't
papa.
Thanks, Ty.
Man, I'm super happy. I'm super happy. So, of course, you kind of answered this already in regards to what we're looking forward to in regards to Landon Brown as far as in the future. Now, do you also do any acting as well too? As far I know, you did the reality being Bobby Brown on the reality show. Are you looking into doing more acting as well too, or is it mostly music for you?
You know what? The way I try to live my life, Rico, is, Denzel Washington said something. I can't remember the whole thing of what he said, but if I can just take what I took from it was, he said that, one day you're going to be surrounded by the ghosts of the things you didn't do. You're going to be surrounded by the potential that you had, and your potential is going to be like, now we got to go together. So I gotta live the way I want to. So acting, everything I want to do. I want to try it all. I want to try it all. I want to try it all.
Because you did some modeling as well too, right?
I did some modeling, yeah.
Too. Okay.
I tried. I tried a little bit of acting. I tried. I did some auditions, and it was so different from working in the studio with people. You go in the studio with people like Valerie, and she has a great energy, and you guys are coming up with ideas, and you're like, I'm not married to that idea. Do you have a different? Can we just try something else?
Well, she'll slip me a piece
and
of
you
candy
keep
because
on
she like bringing candy.
Word.
So yeah, she brings candy. She's like, hey, you didn't like that? Okay, taste it. Okay, cool. You like that? Okay, cool. Let's go. Right.
But you go into an audition to act, and they're like, come on, like just show us what you got, man. Show us what you got.
God, you're like, you don't even like your job.
You're like, all right. But you have to, like my stepdad was telling me, you have to be able, if this is what you want, what you love, you have to be able to suck it up and have that same thick skin from being your father's son.
Yes, sir.
You have to take that same thick skin, and you got to go in here and show them that you're capable.
That's right.
So I'm trying to do it all.
We've heard that from other actors and actresses that have come in that, you'll walk in and the energy's already in the room.
Yep.
So not only do you have to shake the energy off, and put your game face on.
Yes.
Yes. And you have a couple, maybe less than a minute sometimes.
Yep.
Wow.
I actually did an audition for. I probably shouldn't say who I did it for, but I did an audition for an international food chain, right?
Okay.
And they had me on camera. They were like, "Okay, take a bite, and then show us how delicious it is." And I was like, "Gotcha." So I'm all shaved up. I'm feeling all confident. And I took a bite, and it was so dry. It was so dry, it was like I ate sand. And it just took all the moisture out of my mouth. And they were like, say the line. And I was like I'm trying to.
You should have danced it out.
And I was like, can I have some water? And they were like, you want some water? Is he serious right now? And I was like, yes, I need some water. And that was a terrible experience. That took all my confidence out of trying to be an actor.
Especially with food. Internationally, if you get cotton mouth after you eat a piece of meat, you know what I mean?
It was a burrito.
It's a burrito?
It was a breakfast burrito.
No. Yeah, that's
He's like, I would say the line if I could speak right
Yeah,
now.
I can't. I'm choking right now. If y'all could please just give me some water and stop looking at me. They were not having it, man. They're like, dude, get out of here.
Oh my God.
Sorry, guys.
We're at the 1 o'clock hour, everybody. We hope you guys enjoy yourself. We got to put up your social media, man. We got to let people know about your social media. So, John, let's put up his social media, please. So, this is how you can find out about Landon B. Brown on Facebook. So, make sure you guys go and check him out. There's a lot of people that's probably adding him.
Don't be trying to add him to groups.
We'll see what happens if you try to add him. Just
don't be trying to call him on Facebook.
Hey, I saw you on the Rico No Suave show. He might add you. You know what I mean? He might add you. He might add you. Right? So I just want to let you guys know. All right, here's the next one. This is actually LA Inspire, right? On Instagram. So make sure you guys go ahead and follow him there on LA
You mean you don't have the official Landon Brown? Those Instagram handles? The official.
I might have to do that. When I reach that level, I might have to do that. I was gonna do a website, right? And then somebody hit me up and was like, if you want LandonBrown.com, you got to pay me.
Wow. Oh, somebody has that already.
Somebody already bought out the
Oh,
domain.
man.
I was like, wow.
That's crazy.
But do they have Landon?
You're a savage, but
Right.
I appreciate the compliment.
Right.
I appreciate the compliment.
But do they have Landon Brown webpage.com?
They don't.
You got to tweak it out.
See? Valerie.
Valerie's on
Valerie,
it.
we
What?
about to.
Put
Oh,
some
girl.
underscores in
She's
there.
coming to Chocolate City. Okay, Valerie.
Oh my God. All right, everybody, we're going to put up our social media so you guys know exactly what you're tuning into. www.RicoNoSuaveShow.com is where you find all of our information, all of our past videos, as well as our photos and all of that great stuff. Make sure you keep in contact with us there. Here's the next one. We go like this. Boom! At Rico No Suave Show is our official account. Make sure you go ahead and follow us there on Instagram, everybody. Yes, make sure you go there. Here's the next one. You know we're on Facebook. Rico No Suave Show is the page. So make sure you go ahead and like.
Love, love, love.
All day. That's what she said. All right, everybody, here's the next one. All right, Rico No Suave Show. Yes, make sure you subscribe to our channel. Subscribe there, and everybody that's actually on YouTube, thank you guys so much for tuning in. Make sure you go ahead and subscribe. Share the video. Subscribe again. Let's do it. Here we go. Last but not least, we have mixcloud.com/Rico No Suave Show. Yes, make sure you go ahead and follow us on Mixcloud, and everybody that's actually on Mixcloud right now, thank you guys so much. We appreciate that. Tammy C. Graham, speaking of Mixcloud, she says, best wishes on all of your future endeavors, Landon. He is such a genuine, down-to-earth, good guy.
Isn't he?
Thanks, Tammy.
Yes.
Oh!
Yeah. So we got a special guest. Hey, we got a special guest. We got a special guest in the building right now. Actually, you know, I didn't want to tell Landon that he was actually here, but because I wanted to make sure that he was coming in. He was actually coming in. We have none other. Yeah, you got you on the camera giving kisses. We got my man Omega Red in the house, everybody. Omega Red.
Good to see you.
Yeah, we got Omega Red. What's going on? He just flew in from Boston, everybody.
You smell good.
Yeah, man.
Everywhere he goes, he looks like a,
that was a surprise. I wanted to
looks
tell
like a
you guys.
celebrity everywhere he
Yeah, he
goes.
is,
Look
man,
at
he
him,
is.
man. Boy, you just got out of a music video.
Right.
Look
Oh,
at
you
you.
didn't hear the theme music when you
Smelling
walked
good?
in?
Nah, I didn't. I didn't.
You know, ready for tonight?
Yeah, we're going to have some good time tonight. Oh man! So everybody, you already know that was a final exit, man. But once again, everybody, man, thank you so much for being on the show, Papa.
Thank you for having
me. It's a blessing. You know you're gonna be
Thank
back
you very
on the show
much,
again.
Valerie.
Everybody, put your hands together for Landon Brown. Yeah. All right, we're gonna get on. We're gonna get on the show because we got a lot of things to do. We got celebrities in the house, so you know we got to tend to them. But we want to thank everybody for actually being on the show with us today. Man, I had such a great time with each and every one of you guys participating. Sorry, thank you guys so much for all of your great energy today with my co-host Valerie Malesio. Big shout out to my production assistants as well too, rocking it out. Great job today as well. So don't forget, next week, everybody, we have what we call, his name is Andy Williams. He's called the hood candidate that actually ran for president, actually from Chicago. He will be on the show next week. Same salsa channel, same dance channel, same talk show channel here on the Rico No Suave Show. We'll see you guys next week as we end off the show just live.